Welcome to New Zealand's biggest gap year, an epic challenge that my partner Laura and I decided to tackle a few years back. In it, we have to tackle 365 activities all around New Zealand in 365 days. And today we are celebrating Waitangi Day, which is a Maori holiday right here in New Zealand. Join me at the end of the video when I'm gonna go over all the questions and comments you had the first time we published it. This morning we are hitting the road to the lovely place of Okains Bay. If you guys remember, we did bike here not so long ago, but this time we are driving there, and we are not the only one. There is heaps of people here because it's one of the main places in New Zealand to celebrate Waitangi Day. As you can see, the ceremony starts with the potpourri, which is the Maori welcoming ceremony, and this allows us to step onto their ground for the main ceremony to start. And while all the politicians start giving speech to each other, Laura is going to tell you more about what is Waitangi Day and why is it so important in New Zealand.
Waitangi Day is New Zealand's national day, the day that New Zealand basically became a nation. It happens every year on the 6th of February, on the same day that the Treaty of Waitangi was signed in 1840. That was signed between the Maori chiefs and the British to make the nation of New Zealand. So after the local Maori tribes and the New Zealand Navy representing the English crown both give their speeches, it's time to end the ceremony with a traditional hongi. The hongi is a traditional greeting in Maori, and the tribe here take the time to greet every single person in the crowd, which is a really nice touch.
So touch the nose and our forehead and the finger at the same time.
After the ceremony, Laura and I browse around the Okains Bay Maori and Colonial Museum. We check out some wakas, which are some Maori wakanus that we're gonna see in action later on today, and we also get ourselves some literature.
So this is both translations of the Treaty of Waitangi. We've got the Maori version here and the English one here.
But the festivities continue around the corner. There is heaps of stuff. There is some steam machines, there is some stalls that sell some punamu, which are Maori greenstone. They are awesome carving and make amazing pendants and souvenirs. And there is even some wood chopping demonstration. This is to show the way of life of the colonials when they arrived here in New Zealand. They apparently compete at chopping wood the fastest. I don't really know much about that, but this is not the place where we're going to be spending most of our time today. We are quickly making our way across the street because we heard there was some food, because what is a celebration without food?
So I've got 2 tickets for the hangi, which is a traditional Maori meal. It's going to be lifted at 12. I think it's right here. I can see a big pile of mud right here. I just don't want to miss it.
So once we've got our tickets, we head over to the hangi and talk to some of the locals who have been preparing this. They prepared this since 4 a.m. this morning, and what's going on is that there's some heated rocks under the ground with loads of food for 600 people, and it's currently slow cooking in the ground, and it'll be ready later on this afternoon. But for now, we're going to kill some time by checking out some of these really amazing waka. However, we noticed that one of the waka is missing because it's currently on the river right now being paddled upstream by about 30 people. At first we think that there must be some pretty beefy guys in here to paddle all the way upstream from the ocean, but as they get closer we realise that it's actually full of teenagers and children.
All the people paddling the war canoe are local of the area, and they are welcoming us with their own version of their haka. And this leads us to the reveal of the hangi. That's the food, guys, that's the food. Everybody in the crowd know what is the hangi by now, and we all know that it's basically food which has been slow cooked, juicy, delicious and tasty right underneath this massive pile of dirt. And after it has been blessed by the local chief, it is actually going to be revealed. The anticipation is now spreading throughout the entire crowd. Everybody's getting really excited. I can see some people salivating. It's so cool as it slowly gets revealed from underneath the earth. But after a little while, everybody is kind of hanging back and being like, anytime guys, anytime. I personally know that good food takes a lot of time, but all the people around here are mostly used to fast food, so you can hear a lot of grunts, especially from the children. But the food is finally getting revealed, and we are seeing the little pieces of tarp being removed from the top of the cage full of amazing goodness. People are finally getting excited, and a lot of the really smart people are starting to go queue up. But Laura and I are really intrigued by the whole process, and we cannot miss all those pictures opportunity right here. So we don't see the crowd thinning and the queue lengthening. We are just in awe in front of all the food getting digged from the ground.
One of the locals tells us that not every hangi cooking method is the same throughout New Zealand. Different tribes have different ways, different recipes, and different ways that they actually heat the rocks for going underground with the food. But they all go by the same principle that this food has been slow cooked under the ground, taking hours and hours to be prepared. But finally, here's the moment where it's getting onto the tables, ready to be served to the public. After seeing the hangi be dug out from underneath the ground, being taken over to the preparation tables, even being served onto the individual tables, we finally decide now would be a good time to go queue up. Problem is,
Anytime now!
we cannot see an end to this queue. This is the first time we have even seen a queue in New Zealand. What were we thinking?
And then there was us.
Gotta be worth it. Oh, it's crazy. I'm actually starving. I was starving like 2 hours ago.
Okay, well.
I'm gonna be starving for another hour.
But to be quite honest, the wait was well worth it. We are treated to chicken, beef, pork, lamb, carrot, kumara, potatoes, cabbage, stuffings, and even much more. All of that served on a way too small plate. Oh man, it smells delicious. I could eat that stuff every single day. So we're gonna be doing like everybody else. We're gonna find ourselves a nice little spot to enjoy our little picnic. And that nice little spot is gonna be right in front of the water because we're treating ourselves. After all, today is a celebration. So look at this yummy treat and celebrate with us.
Now, as I said, there is about 600 people getting a hangi today, and we are probably number 598 and 599 in the queue. We have a long wait ahead of us, but we know this is worth it.
Alright everybody, so just to reassure you, we were not 598 or 599 on the queue, we definitely got plenty enough food and we felt stuffed at the end of the day. So that was quite a popular video, I have to say, about 14,000 views. It is pretty high for us, and so therefore there is quite a few comments. So Big Hustler Fry says, I saw Waitangi Day dated on my 2021 calendar for the 6th of February and was interested to discover what it was. Very informative and entertaining video. Respect to New Zealand from Northern Ireland, UK. I found that fascinating that you have Waitangi Day on the calendar that you got from the UK. I absolutely love that. I think that we should have more of like, holidays from around the world in our calendars because it kind of gets boring to just see like, Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Days on calendars. So I love that. I really love that. Obviously, we do also have some people say, thanks guy, that was choice. Some people say happy Waitangi Day from India. So that was Benjamin in Sarcasmo, which, to be fair, that was not sarcasm. So that was good. Holmes, Shiny, speaking of sarcasm, says, whoa, I can't believe I enjoyed the video. So yeah, I'm not sure how much sarcasm that is. And Patricia says, yum, delicious. Alright, so that's pretty much all the comments that we had the first time we published the video. If you guys have any questions or comments of your own, feel free to put them in the comments right here or to join us during one of our live shows. We do live shows every single Sunday at 8 AM New Zealand time, and it's called the NZ Travel Show. In it, all we do is to read the live chat and answer all your questions about traveling in New Zealand. So it's a great place to come and hang out and ask all your questions about traveling in New Zealand so you can plan the perfect trip to New Zealand. If you want another tool to plan the perfect trip to New Zealand, you can check out nzpocketguide.com. It's New Zealand's largest travel guide. It's all 100% free, and there's thousands of tips on the website to help you plan the perfect holiday in the country. Alright, if you feel like supporting all our hard work, you can hit like, you can subscribe, and you can even join us on Patreon, where for the price of a cup of coffee a month, you can get a ton of extra perks, such as extra PDF travel guides made exclusively for Patreon, a Facebook group where you can hang out with us 7 days a week, and even more, including even an extra live session every single week privately just for you guys. Alright, see you in the next video. Bye bye.